The American Hockey League has had a rich and storied history for more than 80 years, dating back to its formation in 1936. Hockey legends like Eddie Shore, Johnny Bower, Larry Robinson, Martin Brodeur, and countless others have left their mark on the AHL through the decades. With 32 franchises for the first time in its history, the American Hockey League smashed ticket and corporate sales records in 2022-23. From opening weekend through the Calder Cup Finals, the AHL welcomed over 7 million fans to games across North America. The AHL took to the ice in Palm Desert, California, as the Coachella Valley Firebirds began play as the affiliate of the NHL Seattle Kraken. Fans packed Acrisure Arena to cheer on their team every night as the Firebirds led the AHL in paid attendance during their inaugural season. The AHL also welcomed the Calgary Wranglers to the league as the Flames affiliate began play in the Scotiabank Saddledome. The Wranglers were a formidable team from start to finish, capturing the McGregor-Kilpatrick Trophy with the best regular season record in the league. The Toronto Marlies had the largest increase in ticket sales per game this past season, while the San Jose Barracuda, Rochester Americans, Chicago Wolves, Syracuse Crunch, and Belleville Senators all saw their paid attendance increase by over 50% per game. With the AHL continuing its role as one of the premier hockey leagues in the world, its digital presence followed suit. AHL digital and social media properties had over 150 million impressions, while theAHL.com saw a 14% increase in users and a 10% increase in page views. Social media continued to serve as an important tool, with the league as a whole eclipsing 1.5 million followers on Instagram, 1.3 million followers on Twitter, and 1.6 million fans on Facebook. The league also saw continued growth in the streaming space, as the AHL TV platform continued to play a vital role in the AHL fan experience. During the past season, AHL TV saw its highest revenue ever, and viewership numbers continued to grow, with over 120,000 users having opened an AHL TV account. The season ticket member program also continues to flourish, with 25 teams participating this season. The AHL also maintained a significant television broadcast presence this season, with games airing nationally in Canada on TSN and in the United States on NHL Network. All told, nearly 200 games were televised live nationally or regionally in North America. The 2022-23 regular season saw several impressive accomplishments by AHL players. Calgary Wranglers captain and Alberta native Brett Sutter played his 1,000th game in the American Hockey League, becoming just the 8th player in league history to reach that milestone. Sutter's Calgary teammate Dustin Wolf followed up an excellent rookie season by becoming just the 8th goaltender in AHL history to capture the Les Cunningham Award as the league's MVP during the regular season. Wolf led the league in every major goaltending category, including wins, goals against average, save percentage, and shutouts. Ty Cartier of the Coachella Valley Firebirds earned the Dudley Red Garrett Award as the AHL's Rookie of the Year in 22-23. The undrafted forward notched 57 points in 72 games before making his NHL debut with the Seattle Kraken during the Stanley Cup playoffs. Christian Wolanin of the Abbotsford Canucks earned the Eddie Shore Award as the top defenseman in the AHL. Wolanin had an impressive 55 points in just 49 games to lead all AHL Blue Liners in scoring, and also skated in 16 games with parent club Vancouver. Mitch Love earned the Louis A.R. Pieri Memorial Award as the AHL's outstanding coach for the second straight season, after guiding Calgary to the best record in the league at 51-17-3-1. And the AHL proved once again that it isn't just a development league for players. 21 NHL head coaches in 2022-23 were graduates of the American Hockey League's coaching ranks. Bruce Cassidy, who led the Vegas Golden Knights to the 2023 Stanley Cup Championship, is a former AHL Coach of the Year, and 2018 Calder Cup champion Sheldon Keefe guided the Toronto Maple Leafs to their first playoff series win since 2004. Many of the AHL's top players were recognized with key call-ups to their parent clubs this season. A total of 375 players skated in both the NHL and AHL this year, and more than 87% of all players in the NHL this season developed in the American Hockey League. The Vegas Golden Knights and Florida Panthers reached the Stanley Cup final on the strength of contributions from dozens of AHL graduates. 74% of the Florida Panthers developed in the AHL, while 96% of the Stanley Cup champion Vegas Golden Knights competed in the AHL, including 2023 Conn Smythe Trophy winner Jonathan Marchessault, who played in 326 AHL games and was a three-time AHL All-Star on the road to the NHL. The 2023 Calder Cup playoffs were memorable as always, beginning with several exciting races to finish the regular season. In the West, the Milwaukee Admirals reached the conference finals for the first time in 17 years before falling to the Coachella Valley Firebirds, who won 4 elimination games on their way to reaching the Calder Cup finals in their inaugural season. In the Eastern Conference, the league's two senior-most franchises collided in the conference finals, with the Hershey Bears getting past the Rochester Americans to earn their 24th trip to the Calder Cup Championship Series. The finals were an epic 7-game series, played in front of capacity crowds throughout. The Firebirds and Bears battled it out into overtime of Game 7 before Mike Vecchione scored the championship-winning goal, giving Hershey its 12th Calder Cup. As we close the book on another successful year, we look forward to continuing the AHL's tradition of excellence next season. With an unshakable commitment to compelling hockey and player development, the American Hockey League will continue to flourish well into the future.